It is no secret that penny stocks in cannabis companies are a means for incurring a hefty financial reward. There are a few things to consider when choosing the right penny stock to invest in. One has to consider trading volume. A higher volume of trading each day makes it easier to sell, and a lower volume of trading each day makes it harder to sell. And frankly, cannabis stocks generally have high enough volume because there seems to be investor interest in that industry. Different cannabis companies have a different focus. Some companies focus on medicinal marijuana, and this would be more of a pharmaceutical industry type stock. And we also know that marijuana has huge potential in cancer research. And you have others that focus on the recreational side, and while some states have legalized recreational marijuana, it is still federally illegal. And since our President Donald Trump has made it his agenda to get rid of illegal drugs, narcotics, etc., this may not be something that would be legalized under his presidency, but possibly in the future. This does not mean we have to wait until there is another president before cannabis is legal, because our President Donald Trump is focused on bringing back industry to the US and booming the economy, and consequently, there is the industrial cannabis side to it. Industrial hemp has the potential to be a multi-billion-dollar-a-year industry. Industrial cannabis, unlike medicinal or recreational marijuana, is low in tetrahydrocannabinol or THC, which means you cannot take your used toilet paper and smoke it afterwards. But fortunately, an acre of cannabis can produce a lot more paper than an acre of trees, so it's a lot more sustainable and better for the environment. Moreover, we import so many hemp products from abroad that imagine if we produce it domestically. So now we get to 3 different strategies for trading the penny stocks in cannabis companies. And the first strategy is to trade the market cycles. You see, stocks fluctuate in price on a regular basis. They fluctuate throughout the day. They may trend higher for a few weeks, trend lower a few weeks afterwards. And what's nice is you can purchase thousands of shares for minimal expense. Suppose you bought 100,000 shares in a cannabis company that was only valued at 2.5 cents a share. It's a measly $2,500 investment, or $2,500. And to keep things simple, we're including with these prices the cost of purchase and selling, just to keep the numbers simple. Now, all it needs to do is go up by 1/10 of a penny, or $0.026, and that 100,000 shares would be worth an extra $100, or $2,600. Consequently, if you paid 2.5 cents a share and it went up by half a cent in value and becomes worth 3 cents a share, then your 100,000 shares would be worth $3,000, which is a $500 return if you were to sell at that price and, neglecting buy and sell fees. So consequently, if you buy when the market's down and sell when the market's up, and then repurchase when it's down, and you play the market cycles, you can generate really good profit per trade with very minimal capital using penny stocks. And since cannabis stocks trade in high volumes, they're easier to sell. The last thing you want to do is buy a stock, and when it goes up a tick, nobody purchases. If choosing to play the market cycles, and you were able to make 20% a trade and net 5 successful trades a month, you can easily not easily, but you can theoretically turn $500 into $1 million in about 9 months. This amounts to about 41 trades, netting 20%, and assuming you had no unsuccessful trades. The reality is that the market isn't generally that volatile, and with penny stocks, once you have a lot of cash and you buy hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of them, or millions of shares, you may not have enough people to purchase when the market goes up, so this may not necessarily be a feasible method unless you are monitoring multiple stocks. So now we get to strategy number 2. Cashing in when the price is high. So suppose you purchased 100,000 shares at 3 cents a share for a cost of $3,000. If it went up to 50 cents a share, it becomes worth $50,000. Now, if it went up to $1 a share, it's worth 100 grand. And if it went up to $10 a share, you've made $1,000,000. One can sell at a higher price and reap significant rewards using this strategy. The third strategy is just to hold onto the stock and wait for the industry to mature to where it starts giving out dividends. So you don't sell at a high price, and then if they paid 3 cents in dividends every quarter and you own 100,000 shares, then every quarter you make $3,000, which amounts to $12,000 a year. Not shabby for a $3,000 investment. If you were to keep it and they increase dividends to where you received 25 cents a quarter per share in dividends, then you were making $25,000 a quarter or 100 grand a year. Concurrently, if they raise dividends and you ended up making 50 cents per share, you end up making $50,000 a quarter or 200 grand a year. Now, if you reinvest the dividends to get compounded growth until you're ready to retire, the sky's the limit. So in conclusion, I just presented 3 strategies for trading cannabis penny stocks. Strategy 1 is to trade the market cycles. Strategy 2 is to cash in when the market goes up and once hemp is legalized nationally, etc. Or strategy 3 is to hold and reap dividends for the long term. Now, strategy number 1 is very risky. Strategy 2 is less risky. I mean, we've seen where some Canadian cannabis stocks have really soared and produced huge rewards once Canada legalized recreational marijuana. And then strategy 3 is a long-term sustainable wealth measure where you get dividends from the cannabis stocks, and if you withdraw part of the dividends, you can still amplify your growth and have a nice sustainable income. But the key to strategies 2 and 3 is to have patience, because you have to wait until laws are passed giving more legalization to cannabis, and so you have to wait whenever you have elections. So this is something that would still take a few years. I'm guessing at least 4 to 6 years, maybe a little longer. So patience is a virtue. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Please check out my other videos on investing, and good luck on your investments. Thank you.